It is currently 6 o'clock and the weather is looking very nice. Thank you for listening to another episode of OSW-FM. OSW-FM. And today a little bit of a different video, as I'm not really showing any gameplay. I just quickly want to go over my microphone setup and how I managed to get this sound out of it. So the microphone itself is a Rode PodMic, which by itself is a pretty good microphone, but you need some accessories to get the most out of it. First off, I highly recommend buying a Windshield. There is a WS12 variant from Rode itself, which fits very nicely and it sounds really good. This is without the Windshield, and as you can hear, it still sounds pretty good. Pretty good. But you get that effect, which is a bit annoying. And with the Windshield back on, we do And as you can hear, it's much more controlled now, it's way less bassy. And the Windshield also keeps you in perfect proximity from the microphone. And this is what gives you that very nice proximity radio effect, where it sounds really nice and bassy, and essentially all of the room acoustics, etc. are deadened out. Of course, you also need an audio interface if you are using the XLR PodMic. And as this microphone needs about 50 decibels of gain, which is a ton, there is not really any audio interface that can do this without providing a ton of background noise out of the box. So you will need to get another preamplifier, but this also makes pretty much any audio interface that accepts XLR suitable for this purpose. As long as it has a 48 volt phantom output, you should be fine. And so for the most important accessory I actually bought to get this sound out of the microphone, it's the Triton Audio Kompressor. The compressor is a very nice handy little unit which you can just plug into your XLR cable or in between your microphone, as I have done here. And it doesn't only provide you with 25 decibels of gain, which will really help your preamplifier on your audio interface to not be a stretch, and it will lower the noise floor. But it also comes with a really handy onboard one knob compressor, which is super useful as this is before the preamplification stage. So this essentially means you can drive your microphone a little bit harder, and thus you get a little bit more of that nice crunchy sound. As for the audio interface I am using personally, I am using the Topping Professional 4x4 Pre, which is a really nice interface. It's a Chinese interface, but it comes with really nice software, and honestly for this type of work I would highly recommend it. And the last accessory I bought for this microphone was the Rode Tripod 2. Which is, it's pretty expensive for what you get, but it's really nice because it also provides you with a handle, which is very nice if you are doing commentary over gameplay. But as it is a tripod, you can also put it down on your desk, which I am doing currently to record this voiceover. And now let's go over how I actually record the voiceover, because there are two ways to do this. We can record straight into OBS like this, which is very useful for doing commentary, voiceovers and all kinds of other different purposes. Or we can record the voiceover in Resolve itself, which sounds like this. And it also applies some AI algorithm noise reduction thingy, so it will sound a little bit different to recording straight into OBS. And depending on your purposes, your environment and how much noise is in your room, this method might actually be the most suitable for you. And after you are done recording your voiceovers, I would highly recommend enabling the AI dialogue leveler. You can either do this per clip or you can do this on the entire voiceover track, but you can only do it on the voiceover track when you are not recording. And depending on your voice, how loud you speak, how much dynamic range you have in your voice, etc., you will need to change the settings a little bit. But if you are using the Triton Audio Kompressor like I am, you will most likely have to do only very minimal settings. And of course, we also need to set up a nice processing chain in order to get the sound that we actually want. And so let's go actually over the settings in real time here. I am using the dialogue processor. It is essentially just a variant of the preset that is provided for the male VO. I only adjusted it a little bit for my own settings, and I removed the excitation because it sounds like shit. And then we have a Fairlight EQ. I made sure to only use Fairlight stuff, which is freely included with Resolve, so anyone can use this. Feel free to copy my settings here. You always want to get a nice smiley shape for voices, especially for male voices, because you get a nice bassy sound. And then we have the multiband, which is pretty much the most complicated thing to set up. Feel free to copy my settings here. And you generally want to give it a little bit of gain. As you can see, I'm doing it here on every channel. And then with the threshold, we pull it down a little bit. And we can limit the amount of limiting or compression that it is actually doing by tweaking this setting. This is one of the most important things to actually make it sound good. But you can obviously just copy my settings if you are so inclined. And then we have another EQ, which is basically to clean up a little bit of the things that we don't like about the sound. We clean up a little bit of the bass by enabling this thingy here, the last band. It is a low pass filter, high pass filter, and this is a low pass filter. We use this to control a little bit more, like the high frequency, so your ears don't bleed. And then in band 4, this is generally where you have some nasally and annoying sounds, and you just want to tune that down a little bit so it sounds a little bit more smooth. And then we have the limiter and the loudness meter, and this is for YouTube. It's very important. Here you can see, here you can set it to YouTube, and it will start at you can start here the measurement. It won't work now because there's no signal coming through, sadly. But what you are looking for is essentially this to be around -14 and this to also be around -14.1. And if you are not reaching that target, you just increase this input here as far as it wants to go before you start hitting your loudness targets. And this will make sure that your voice sounds really loud and it really pops out without YouTube applying any compression or annoying algorithmic bullshit. So it will keep your sound pristine and as you have recorded it, basically. And of course, if you are adding any background music or something or any gameplay, you might have to adjust it a little bit. You put the limiter and the loudness meter on the bus and you measure from there. But yeah, if you just hit -14.1 on the integrated LUFS, you should be good to go. Thank you for watching. I know this video was a little bit different, but I am sure there will be some creators, video creators, whatever you want to call them, out there that will find some use in this video and might actually learn something. So if you are one of those people, please do like the video, leave a nice comment and hit the subscribe button if you would like to see more from me. I have been OSW-Sim-Sports and I wish you all a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.